We should be live. Um, to anyone who may happen to be watching, this is just a short epilogue stream of last night's session. We had a interesting event happen towards the end of the session, and we are just doing a little bit of makeup. This video will be uploaded to YouTube and set in private. And I swear to God, my other players better not be watching this right now. So, Cletus.
Hello.
You're in the middle of the fight. A giant cloud of darkness is near you. You're surrounded on almost all fronts at this point. A pile of corpses building up around you. You're winded, you're tired, you're bleeding as this large black dragon is rearing at you as you go down. And then you're laying on the ground bleeding out. What's going through your head?
Another fucking dragon got me.
I believe it was Kobold who got you down, though?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at this point the dragon is just, you know it's there. It's in that darkness. In this moment, you know your friends are fighting right next to you. You're gone down. What are you thinking?
Sin was right. Should have taken care of these kobolds the first time.
Okay. Amiki just touched you with with her hand and caused inevitable doom on you. What do you think about that?
The fuck are you doing, Amiki? Aruya?
Conrad raining down arrows. What do you think of him in this moment?
Hoping he hits his mark.
Nadalin is sitting there, Talid's activated, flaming. The mother of fiery fury is rushing at the female priestess. What are you thinking about Nat in this moment?
Kill that bitch, Nat. Kill her.
Daylock, just out of arm's reach, fighting next to you to the last, screaming, panting. He keeps reaching out to heal you, but you keep getting attacked. What are you thinking about him in this moment?
Don't worry about me, buddy. Just get yourself away from the dragon.
And Corin, he's not here. What do you think? What are you thinking about him in this very moment?
The fuck you at, Corin?
The Welton family. They go across your mind. What are you thinking about with them?
I'm just hoping that they're safe back in the test.
Those two drunk, albeit talented, idiotic dwarven brothers. What are you thinking about them in this moment?
I'm hoping that their uncle makes it out of this alive.
Lady Cat, Felton, and the rest of the workers of the Squawking Box. They all cross your mind. What do you think about them in these moments?
I'm just hoping I can have one last drink with them.
Raylon, Demerel, platinum band and all their glorious stature. What do you think about them in these moments?
I wish we could have done better by them. Sorry we disappointed them.
Mayor Ravon and the rest of the townsfolks, all the other shopkeepers that you probably didn't have as good of a repertoire with, Melanodius and all the others, they all cross your mind. What are you thinking about in these moments?
Hoping that we take care of these kobolds so they never bother them again. And hopefully the dragon never enters the test.
Celestia, the city that could easily belong to any god. Its grand beauty, the starting point on your journey here. What do you think of that town as you slowly feel the life draining from you?
It was a hell of an introduction to Elois. That makes sense for what I've seen.
Your home, your family, your town. What do you think about them in these final moments?
I miss them dearly. I wish I could have apologized to them for what I was accused of.
Your sister, who you loved but still technically worked for the people who were responsible for both your imprisonment and your potential execution.
I miss her dearly, and I don't blame her one bit for having me being imprisoned. I know she's just doing her job.
You realize at this moment that time almost feels like it's stopped for you. All of these thoughts go across your head. All these complete thoughts, these visions of your life. You realize this is a little different than last time. Maybe because you are in a different place in your life. Maybe you had more people closer to you. You're not quite sure. But you feel your body begin to grow cold as you see a shadowy figure stepping towards you out of the cloud of darkness. You immediately recognize it. It is the Black Dragon. You see an ever slight grin go across its scaly mouth as it looks down on you. You know this look. You've had the same look time and time again in the middle of combat when you faced your foe and you knew you were going to win, praising Cord for your strength and your victory. But for the first time, you get to see what that looks like from the other end. And it is haunting. As he rears back one of his claws, slashes across your chest. You feel the pain, the burning sensation as the claws scrape across your chest. Then a second one, and you reel from it. With each swipe, you feel yourself just fading away. You see the dragon smile one last time as it rears its head back, inhaling. You can see at the back of its throat a greenish, ichorish cloud beginning to form. As he exhales and all of your vision goes dark, you feel the searing pain going across your body. You try to cry out, but there's no voice. You try to move, but there is no control over your body. And right when you start to lose yourself in the pain, it all fades away. The sensation, it is familiar to you. You've been in this state once before. Last time, it happened so quick. You felt it for just a brief moment before you were brought back to life. Breathing again. Back to the mortal coil. You were alive. But this time it's different. This time, you stay. When you expect yourself to rise again, there's nothing. And you feel a pull. It is a pull you do not recognize. In this infinite darkness, nothing but your essence, your soul self. But you don't want to go towards the pool. Last time there was no pool, you just came back. And you worry, the fear starts to set into you. And you realize, is this the pool of death? And you fight against it with all of your willpower. And you resist it. You don't gasp for air, there are no lungs. But you take a brief moment as you feel like, okay, I resisted it. As the pull happens again, this time unexpected and quick. You are not ready for it. As you feel your essence being pulled and pulled and pulled. Until it feels like you are caged. You feel trapped. There is no light, there is no darkness, there is nothing. It is just you and yourself in this trapped box, a cage, a tormenting prison. And your mind starts to drift. More and more and more. You do not know where you are or what has become of you. Moments turn to minutes, minutes to days, days to weeks, weeks to months, months to years. In a near infinite time span, you feel your consciousness, your very being, pulled asunder, smashed, ripped apart, but none of these things are actually happening. It is just you yourself slowly losing every piece that makes you you, as you slowly slip past insanity, past sanity, into an infinite darkness of nothing. You lose what it means to be yourself. You lose what it means to exist. You are no longer anything. Not a minotaur, not alive, not a soul, nothing. You know this is the end. All your memories, all your feelings, everything that makes you you is now sundered. And then you hear a voice. You try to understand it. You try to put a finger on it. You try to make sense of it, but it's all foreign to you. You are no longer you anymore, so you have nothing to base it on. But you hear a voice. After a near infinite amount of time, you're no longer alone. And you try to latch onto that voice. But the words mean nothing to you as they fade away. If this happened a couple hundred years ago before you lost your sanity, it might have meant something. But again, you just drift back to nothing. An insurmountable amount of time passes again. This time you hear multiple voices. But again, what they try to convey is lost to you. And again, the words slip away. Time passes yet again. You hear voices once again. I swear this is gonna work. No, you daft fucking, fucking cocksheath. No, tighten this one. No. As the voices fade away yet again. Long into the future, again. This is quite interesting. I've never seen anything quite like this. Are you sure your uncle designed this? Of course he did. You think we're a fucking liar? Yeah, you tell him. And the voices slip away. Again they come back. Okay. This should work. This really should work. I don't think it's going to work. Of course it will, you fucking daft monkey. And for the first time in a long time, you see a slight ray of light. And you try as hard as you can to latch onto that light. And in these moments, you can see. You see a small figure. A figure that looks like the other small figure, but he looks to be made of something else. Behind them, a lithe figure with long hair, arms crossed, seeming to mock the two that are standing in front of you. You can see, but all the sound is lost. And in from the side, you see another large figure enter into your view. A large creature with scales. Are they scales? Why do you know what scales are? What is happening? Who am I? What am I doing here? All of these questions begin to fill your head. The light begins to fade again, and you slip back away. Time passes. Okay, I've made the adjustments. This should work now. Okay. It should work. Okay, we can't lose him. This may be our only connection to what our uncle was trying to do down here. The light comes back. There's a flicker of light. You blink. You look around. You seem to be in a large room. Tables on the outside, table on the middle, filled with various tools, metals, mechanical parts, all over the room. You take note of everything that you see, but you're at a loss for names, what they are, where you are, who you are. It feels like these things are familiar, but from an existence long ago, time immemorial. They're faded. But you continue to look, you listen, and you watch as these two smaller figures seem to be reaching right below where your eyes are. They seem to be working on stuff. They pull out metal, they pull out stone, they move things around, they adjust things. You hear them bantering back and forth, cursing at each other, joking, laughing, Time seems to pass, and the whole time you just stare at this room. It goes from light to dark as people turn on lanterns, shut them off. Days, weeks go by. Constantly you are aware. You see all of this happening, but you cannot move. And eventually this repetitive pattern goes on for a while. Every single time they come in, they work on you. They seem to be poking and prodding and taking tools to you. You have no idea what is going on. But every single day you know these things seem familiar to you. The small ones. They're dwarves. How do I know what dwarves are? What are dwarfs? Am I a dwarf? You lose the thought. The scaled creature walks by. That's a dragonborn. Is he a dragonborn? Why? Why do I know what a dragonborn is? The lithe figure walks by. That's an elf. I know it is. But why do I know what an elf is? Again, the thought is lost to you. Days pass, weeks pass. Eventually, you feel yourself growing. I can't think of you can't think of a better word. Growing. You're growing somehow. Until one day, as they are working on you, the dwarf that seems to be made of flesh and the dwarf that seems to be made of metal are looking at you, and they're trying to talk to you. Can you hear us? Nod if you can hear us. You think to yourself, a nod? What is a nod? You look at the dwarf made of metal, and he seems to be moving his head up and down. You attempt to mimic that. Give me a strength check. You try, you focus, you see his eyes, you see that, you know that he sees from those, and you can feel where your eyes are, so you try to mimic the motion. It takes everything that you have, but you see your vision moving up and down, and the one made of flesh throws his hands up. He's doing it! He can hear us! Yeah, that's a good lad. Come on. Yeah, okay, we got this. Okay. They continue working. You watch patiently. The day comes to an end. The metal one looks towards you. Aye, boy. Okay, you've been kind of up for a while now. You need to rest. Just let yourself slip away. Aye, you got this? Just let yourself slip away. Do you heed his advice?
Yes.
In these moments, you listen to him, and you let yourself fade away. Once again, darkness comes. But it's not as long as you remember the darkness is. It seems like in just no time at all, you're awake again, aware, and you're looking around. The metal dwarf is working on you. You look down. Give me another strength check. You bring your head down. It's stiff. It's hard to move. But you look down and you see something coming from your being. That's a hand. Why do I know what a hand is? What is a hand? But you watch as he continues to work on it. First one finger, then 2 fingers, 3, 4, and 5. Each one is connected to you. At the end of the day, the 2 dwarves look at you. Okay, come on, lad. Try to bend them. And you see them like crumpling their hands together. The joint or the digits from the fingers crumpling in on themselves. It takes you a moment, and you're like, he's closing his hand. He wants me to close my hand. Give me a dex check. You try and try. You see cords and tubes snap from your hand. Liquid sprays everywhere. As they reach for your forearm. They begin to bind it up with cloth. They begin to crimp down on the tubes as they start to panic. Don't worry. Just rest. Just let yourself fade away again. You let yourself fade away again. Hours pass, and you're awake again. You find the elf and the fleshy dwarf sitting over your arm. You look down again, and they look up at you. Oh, he's back. Okay, it should be fixed. Try it again. Give another dex check. You begin to try to mimic their motion, and your hand moves. The first reaction you notice is there seems to be something missing. Something that in the back of your existence you know it's supposed to be there. You can move, but you cannot feel. And as your digits touch the palm of your hand, there is nothing. You know your hands move, and when your hands touch the palm, you feel the pressure. But do you? Then you look at the dwarf with flesh, and you sit and stare at him for a while. Give me an intelligence check. You lose the thought. But something's missing. Something's different. You feel exhausted. You let yourself fade away again. This process goes on and on and on. You do not know where you are, who these people are, or what is happening, nor who you are. And for the most part, you do not keep or stay awake. Every time you seem to be awake and you try to think and try to figure things out, it seems to make you more distraught, more worried, so you just let yourself fade a bit. Until eventually, you feel pressure on the side of your head. You snap to. And standing in front of you are the dwarves, metal and flesh, the elf, and the scaled, what was it again? Dragonborn. And they're all staring at you, expectingly. And what do you do?
I try to nod my head.
Okay, give me a strength check. You do so. You hear the metal dwarf going, okay, he's moving. Let's see what he got. What do you do?
I try to take a step.
Give me a dex check. You think about it for a second and you look down. Just like you had gained a hand, you look down and you see two legs. You know they're legs. Did you once have legs? And in that moment, you try to step out and you do so. Your leg lifts and sets itself on the ground. I need you to give me a strength check. Athletics check, sorry. You set your foot down. You reach back and brace yourself on the bed that you realize that you're laying on. Not a bed that lays horizontal. This one's at a very steep angle. And you push off of it. And you find yourself standing. Give me an acrobatics check. You wiggle and you shake, and they reach out to go to brace you, but you catch yourself. You are standing. Aye, the boy got it. Okay. Who are you? They look at you, waiting. You stare back at them. Who am I? In the back of your brain, you feel the anger. Who am I? The question you've been asking yourself for what feels like forever. Who are you? Give me an intelligence check. Give me a wisdom check. Okay. You hear them ask that question, and it angers you. The one thing you wish they could answer for you, they don't know. And yet they dare mock you by asking you that very question you wish to know. You get angry, you clench your fist, you lash out to the left, knocking over a table. You turn it, spin around and lash out against a table. You knock things across and onto the wall and the ground. You turn around again, and then you see it. A plain bronze piece of metal, polished to a shiny, gleaming finish. Give me a perception check. You look at it. You approach it. You see yourself. Is this myself? Is this what I always looked like? You see in your reflection a very thin skeleton of metal, stone, cords, tubes, a husk of a creature, an entity. You don't know what you are. And in the reflection, you look back and you see their worried faces. You immediately feel bad. They seem to be helping you. You don't think that question was meant to hurt you. You clench your fists and pound it on the table in front of you. A moment passes, and you feel pressure on your shoulder and on your side. What do you do?
I tried to say, who am I?
You try so hard. Cracks crinking. All these different sounds come out, but they are not words. You know they're not words. You feel the pressure on your shoulder kind of lift and go back. Lift and go back. Lift and go back. You turn towards where the pressure is, and you see the Dragonborn patting you on your shoulder. There's a somber look on his face. You turn back at the shiny piece of metal. You look closer. At the center of your being, you see a glowing purple stone. A gem, a diamond, a ruby. You don't know what it is, but it's pulsating. And you realize for the first time that you feel it pulsating through yourself. And it's matching the pulsing of the gem. And you look at the gem, and then you look at yourself, then you look at the gem. Give me an intelligence check. That gem is you. You don't know how you know, but you know that gem is you. You feel it. You know it. You feel the pressure at your side again. Through the reflection of the metal, you see that it's the small dwarven metal man. You turn towards him, and he gestures you to come down towards him.
I do so.
He reaches up below your vision, towards your neck. You feel some things moving around. It's uncomfortable. It hurts a little bit. You feel and hear clicks and whirls, and he removes his hands. Says, "Try again."
I try to say, "Who am I?"
Ah, you heard it. You heard. Ah, oh, thank the gods. Ah. Okay, boy, you can hear us, right?
Yes.
Oh, thank God we were. Oh, man, I thought. Okay, whoa, I thought those fucking schematics weren't right. Okay, you. Okay, you can hear us? You understand us?
I nod.
I know this is jarring. Trust me, I've been through this myself. You are Cletus. Can you say that?
Cletus.
There you go, boy. There you go. Give me an intelligence check. Cletus. There's something else behind that name. Something that was not lost to you in the darkness. Something that you gave up. And no, that's not it anymore. Cletus. That is my name. You know it. You are Cletus. You feel tired. You shake your head, you blink your eyes. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, lad. Just come over here. And he points over to a chair.
I go sit in it.
Don't worry, lad. It's gonna come back to you. Trust me. It just takes a minute, okay? You've been kind of down for a while, and I'm sorry, but we're not our uncle. We do not know half this shit in here, right? And you see the fleshy dwarf look over. Oh, you should honestly be lucky we figured this much out. And then you see the elven man cross his arms. You mean I figured it out? Aye, you fucking translated, okay? Don't get a fucking high horse, okay? You hear the Dragonborn chuckle. Well, if that is all, I think I will go back to my post. Thanks. See you tomorrow, Tanon. The Dragonborn bows his head a little bit and leaves the room. Hey, Faust, you can get your fucking cockhorse of an ass out of here. I do not understand your dwarven insults. Because they sound better in dwarven, okay? Fucking get the fuck out of here. You see him roll his eyes as he walks out of the room. Okay, lad, just sit down. Okay, we still got a long way to go. You're barely anything. Okay, we got a lot of work ahead of us, but you know we've been working on some designs. We've been going over our brother or our uncle's notes. We're gonna get you back together, okay, boy?
Thank you.
But you're tired and you let yourself drift again. Hours pass. Give me an intelligence check and a wisdom check. You remember flashes. A childhood. People you cared for. Growing up. Learning to fight. You remember betrayal. You remember fear. You remember hope. You remember a new family. You remember trials. You remember tribulations. You remember the struggle. And you remember the end. Bits and pieces. That's all you have. Mostly the feelings behind them all. As your eyes flicker on again. You're still in the chair, and you look around, and across the table, a set of armor? No, this is not it. You look towards the head. It is a head unlike the dwarfs, closer to the dragonborn, but it's different. Two large, massive metal horns come out the side and point up and curl around towards the front. Those horns. Give me an intelligence check. Those are my horns. You know that. But how could your horns be sitting on the table? You reach up to your head. There's nothing there. As soon as you go to move, the two dwarves look over as they're working on this set of armor. You're not quite sure what it is. Ah, he's awake. Oh, okay. Okay, that a boy. We need you to move. You're a little too heavy. We didn't want to move you. And they kind of point over to a table, the table that you first found yourself on. Okay, just stand up. Just lean against that. We're gonna tie you in, and we're gonna get to work. Okay?
Okay. I do that.
Okay. It's a struggle, but you begin to find yourself more used to movement. It's a little bit more fluid. You go over to the table, you lean back against it, and the metal dwarf begins to tie you down, strapping you with these thick leather bands. And that worry comes across your face. You have no expression. You know you don't. You just feel it. But he stops tying you down and looks up at you. And he places a hand on your chest across right where the gem is. It's alright, lad, okay? We're gonna get you back together. In fact, I think you're gonna be better than you ever were. And you see just the slightest smile come across his metal face. And he nods towards you. You there, Cletus?
Yeah.
He nods towards you.
Okay. I nod back. Sorry, I didn't know if you want me to do anything there or not.
He was just kind of standing there nodding at you. So it looks like, oh, I should have said, he looked like he was expecting something.
Okay. Yeah.
That a boy. You were always a trooper. Don't worry, we're gonna get you back together. We're gonna, you know, get you readjusted, and before you know it, you'll be able to have some ale again. Huh? Oh wait, I forgot. You like milk, don't you? I remember that night. You told us all about milk. You were drunk off your arse, and oh Jesus, like you were just on and on about milk as you're downing all this booze. And that cat lady was all over you. You guys looked like you guys were hitting it off. Don't worry, lad. We'll get you back together. And you feel happiness. You don't know what he's talking about, but it just fills you with warmth. And you nod, and you lean back, and you close your eyes. You open your eyes again, and you feel much larger than the last time. You look down. Or, sorry. You feel much larger, kind of up against this bed. What do you do?
What was that?
You find yourself awake again, laying back against the bed.
Oh, okay.
What do you do?
I stand up or try to stand up.
You go to move, and you're restrained. You look around. There's no one in here, but you're still tied to the bed. You look down and you see the leather straps.
Hello?
No response.
Mm.
And as you look down at your hands, what once was a mere skeleton of metal, stone, and other materials, you see shiny metal. You look over at the table. That armor is no longer there. You look around and you find that it's now on you.
Hmm. Can I tell if I have the horns then? Yeah,
You can't move
I
your
would know.
hands.
I'm kind of looking around my head since it's the only thing I can move.
Okay, you look around, you're still in the shop.
Mm-mm. I just close my eyes and try to go fade away again.
Nothing happens. You close your eyes and you just sit there. And you sit there. And you sit there. Minute by minute by minute. You immediately start getting bored.
I open my eyes.
You're still in the shop.
I try to break the straps.
Give me a strength check. Snap! Snap! No effort at all. You reach down and you break the straps around your legs. You're free.
Okay, now I stand up.
You do so.
I look for a way out.
You move around the workshop. There's a door. A large stone, and metal, and wooden door.
I try to open the door.
You reach for the handle and you pull it. Nothing.
I try knocking on the door.
You knock. It reverberates with your heavy, heavy hand. Nothing.
I go and look to see if the shield or the shiny piece of metal is still there.
You turn around, you go back towards the main area of the workshop, and it's there.
I look at myself in it.
Okay. And this is not finalized, but just to give you a little bit of a concept of what you're dealing with right now. It's kind of a mix between these two.
Cool.
And that's exactly what you think. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool as you look at yourself.
I'm all shiny.
Yes, there are large portions of your body that are pretty shiny. And for those who will eventually watch this video, he basically looks like a large metal minotaur.
Hmm. I go back to the door.
Okay.
And I try to force it open.
Give me a strength check. You try as hard as you can. The door does not move at all. You slam your shoulder against it. You headbutt it a little bit. Nothing.
I look to see if there's a window.
There's nothing. Solid stone on all sides.
Can I see the other body I was in?
You look around the room. There's nothing there.
Hmm.
Give me an intelligence check. There's no body.
Hmm. And I look to see if there's a note.
Give me a perception check. You look around the room that you're in. You find many books, many ledgers. You look across diagrams, schematics, arcane symbols. Most of it's foreign to you. But you do look at one that looks very familiar. It looks almost like the body you first found yourself in, and next to it, it looks like similar to the armor that you had saw on the table that is now on you, and it looks like the two overlap over each other.
Do I need to roll to put two and two together there?
You can make whatever assumptions you want.
I'm going to assume that my body, the metal body that they had me in, was put into the armor.
Okay. And as you begin to look at the notes, you hear a clang coming from behind you.
I look.
Oh, aye, he's up. Oh, there he is. Oh, you're awake. Oh, sorry. Oh, hope you weren't waiting long. As you watch as the two dwarfs enter the room. As the fleshy one closes the door behind him. Ah, so you were the one making all the racket. How you feeling, lad?
Weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird, trust me. And I mean, trust me, I didn't have to go through two like you did. But, because when I came back, I was good to go. It took me a while to, remember everything and get back to myself, but, you had the I have no idea what it must have been like to see that skeleton first. Ugh. I mean, I've seen mine since then, but, waking up in that probably was not too comfortable for you.
No, it was not.
But how you feeling now? Feeling good? Feeling strong? Of course you're. Of course he is. He broke the straps.
I'm feeling very strong.
Okay, well let's try this. And you see the metal one raise his hand and touch his nose. Can you just do that for me?
I attempt to do it.
You do so. Ting! As the metal hits the metal. Okay, now try the other one.
Just with my other hand.
Yep.
I do so.
Ding! Okay, now do this for me. And he flips you off.
I do that. I flip him off.
Ah, there we go. Okay, he seems to be working order. And, they watch as you move and stuff like that. The fleshy one comes up behind you. You kind of look behind you as he puts his ear up to you for a moment. Okay, yeah, I'm not hearing any banging or grinding, so I think we followed the schematics pretty good. Luckily, that fucking twat left us some stuff before he died, because some of these things are just way too out of our scope to make. Okay, should we see if you could activate it? I mean, why not? Might as well. The metal dwarf looks towards you. Okay. Okay. Just to try to get your, thought process going. What's my name?
Intelligence or
Yep. You struggle for a moment. Bilmar? Bomar? You were never really good at remembering them in the first place. It's one of those two, though.
Omar?
Ah, there you go. How you doing? Good? Okay. Now, you got a few things that are gonna be a little different than you remember. I need you, and he reaches towards your right arm. He's like, I just need you to, like, flex this arm, and I need you to of, uh, think of, think of attacking someone. Just think of that, think of someone bad that you need to stop. Think of someone that you need to save, and that you need to stop someone before they hurt them. Just focus on that as you flex.
I do so.
Give me a. Ooh, this is gonna be an interesting check. Since wisdom's kind of feeling things out, give me a wisdom check. You focus. Kshing! A large sword protrudes out of your arm as your hand crumples in on itself and a sword takes its place. What once was your hand is now a large long sword.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Hi, right? I'm actually a little bit jealous. But don't worry, after going through our uncle's notes, we got a lot of designs we're gonna be working on coming up. So you're gonna be our first customer, big boy. Now, okay, you can put that away. You can don't cut as any of us, okay? Just put it away.
I put it away.
You let yourself relax, and the sword disappears, and your hand is back.
Can I do a hammer?
You try, and nothing. A sword pops out.
Okay, I put it back.
You let it go.
I was more asking them, those two.
Well, you asked. Okay, you actually asked those two.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, no, it's hammers. I mean, we only had the design for the sword. I mean, maybe we could work on something like that, but that's all we got for now, man. I mean, you got to give us a little credit. I mean, fuck, we didn't even know you were still in there until our uncle's one buddy told us. He's a little bit more of an arcane practitioner, and apparently he recognized the soul stones. Okay.
Do I remember myself dying?
No. You
Okay.
just remember that after everything that you went through, it came to an end. You don't remember how or anything.
All right. Then I'm gonna ask, what happened to me?
Oh, lad. I mean, we don't have all the details, but the last time we saw, well, the old you were a puddle on the ground, man. We thought you were gone, but I mean, honestly, there was about a, I mean, considering what happened, there was a 50-50 shot we were never going to see you again. And then the other brother chimes in, yeah, I mean, there was only 2 stones left, so we just better be really happy the dragon didn't fly off with that one.
Hmm. How long has it been?
It's been about a month.
Damn, you guys work fast.
I mean, a lot of the things were already kind of made, and we're dwarves. We kind of work on shit all the time, so it didn't take us too much to piece things together. But I mean, honestly, it was the big part was getting the stone good because we were trying to ask our uncle about what the fuck was going on with him, and he points to the metal brother, and he's like, but now since we know, we were able to kind of put the pieces together and figure it out, and then we noticed that there was, you know, an arcane spark to the stone that we brought back. We kind of put two together and threw you in this chassis. Luckily, I mean, here you are. But don't worry,
How
boy.
is
Probably, I mean, if I'm anything to base things on, I mean, over the next week or so, you should probably just start getting more and more back.
okay? Do I remember the Onyx Circle at all?
No.
Nope. Okay. Then I can't ask that
Everything
question.
that I've said since the things happened, that's all you know.
Okay.
You honestly don't even know how you're speaking right now. It's coming naturally.
Hmm. Neat.
Okay, lad. So, things aren't great here, but honestly, luckily for you, we got about a week until we gotta fucking get the hell out of here anyways. So, we need to get to work. And they both kind of look at each other, nodding. And they look back to you. You ready?
Pump my fists together like a boxer.
Ah,
Yes.
that's the spirit, lad. Okay, let's get to work. I need you to roll 5 intelligence checks.
Hey.
Man, you should be happy you got a second natural 20. That's literally
Yeah.
the only thing that would have balanced that out. Okay,
Yeah.
so over the next week, more and more, every time you sleep, they have you work on stuff, they have you do physical exercises, they go over different things, they teach you about your new existence. And through time you remember more and more and more. You remember the Onyx Circle, you remember your family, you remember names, places. It's all coming back to you. You're Cletus. You know the name Flint in the back of your head, but after what has happened, you've completely removed it. You are Cletus now. Mind, body, new body, and soul. You now really do have a second lease on life. What are you thinking in this moment?
I'm happy to be quote unquote alive.
Okay, is that it?
Um, and I'm wondering if the rest of the Onyx Circle's okay now that I actually remember them.
Okay. And over these weeks, many ponderings come about your life. Many questions you ask yourself. What do you regret most? And no, I'm not going to take dying as an answer.
Also, where I was going,
Give me a real answer.
not facing judgment for my crime. supposed crime.
What do you wish the most?
I wish that I could see my friends and family again.
What is your goal?
My goal is to get back to as much of a normal life as I can and hopefully find my family in Elois.
Are you going to are you just going to do the same thing that you did in your previous life?
No, I'm going to be much more careful.
You ponder all of these things over the next week as they slowly teach you and you remember things. They tell you about how their uncle was a member of the council, and as of late, he has been persecuted by the council because long ago he had created a warforge that performed way better than any warforge had ever done before. It was from a book that they now have that is ancient. They show it to you. They don't know most of what the book says, but it does have diagrams. It also has instructions, which some of the instructions are ripped out on how to create these soul stones. They tell you that most warforged have a power source inside and then a rune on them that basically acts as their soul, and their knowledge, training, everything is kind of ingrained into them, and they can learn things throughout their life. Their uncle, part of his research, he had discovered these soul stones which would allow people, and this is technology from the Dawn War, this is technology of the gods, that would allow fallen soldiers to basically be moved over to these bodies and go right back onto the battlefield. There's no training, there's no processing time. It's immediately, you're dead, you're in a new body. You're dead, you're in a new body. And they also teach you what it means to be warforged. Going forward, mechanically wise, you are now classified as a Minotaur Warforged. Do you have, go ahead and open up the wiki real quick for races. Do you have that link?
Give me a sec.
Okay, just let me know because I can send it to you.
Races. Yeah, I think I'm on it.
Okay. You got the
Warforged.
Yes, go to Warforged.
Got it.
Okay. Right now, going forward, do you see the Warforged resolve power?
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, I need you to make a decision. Do you want to embrace your Warforged side or your Minotaur side? Going forward, if you embrace your Warforged side, you will gain Warforged resolve and lose all of your charge or your your goring attack. If you want to stick with Minotaur, you will have your the same charge ability.
I'm going to embrace the Warforged.
Okay. Just to let you know, with how the design for this new body is, so you're going to get rid of your charge. Your goring.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, wait. Sorry. Never mind. That was a wrong decision. That was not the decision you got to make. Sorry. I had to relook at my notes. Sorry. My bad. That was, sorry. Legit, my bad. Okay, I'm literally going off of crap I made up myself, so just give me a moment. You still you still keep your goring charge. Um, it is the you now are gaining the living construct, so you are a living construct. And you see Unsleeping Watcher, Warforged Resilience, and Warforged Mind.
Just the three below living construct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right now you can take those three and swap them out for any of your three that you have of Vitality, Ferocity, and Heedless Charge.
Okay.
So we'll just go down the list. Vitality is you have one additional Healing Surge. Do you want to swap that out with any of those three? And if you need me to explain any of them, the dwarves will.
You said I could swap out for Unsleeping Watcher, Warforged Resilience, and
Warforged Mind. Yep.
Okay. This Warforged Resilience, what does it mean that I can take the better result of my die roll or 10? Isn't 10 still a fail in a death saving throw?
No, it is not.
Okay.
But just know there are certain things that can have a negative number. So if you roll a 5 and a 10, you still may fail a death saving throw. If for some reason there's something on you that is causing you to have like a -2.
Okay.
But if there's no negative effect, basically, if you roll a 1 for a death saving throw, you can just basically go, no, that's a 10. So that's a automatic successful. So it won't allow you to just wake up and spend a healing surge, but you won't be dying. You won't fail at death saving throw. So Warforged Resilient makes it, in most matters, a lot harder to die. Like a lot harder to die.
Yeah.
And you also get a +2 ratio bonus damage to any saving throw against ongoing damage.
Yep.
So in that case, you would only need to roll an 8 or higher. I already think I know what choice you're going to make.
Yeah, I'm gonna swap out Warforged Resilience for Vitality.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, so you don't want Unsleeping Watcher? If you need me to explain what that means, I can tell you.
I think I get it. It just means that I only need to sleep for 4 hours, and it's more like Ruya's meditation where
Yes,
she's just aware of everything.
Yep. And that will make it to where it is pretty fucking hard to like get surprise attack while sleeping. And it will allow, like, say you and Ruya take a watch, you guys could, between the two of you guys, you'd be able to take a watch and the rest of the party could sleep. So it would actually technically shorten your guys' total sleep time, you know, out in the wild.
Yeah.
By a couple hours.
Okay, yeah, I'll swap that one out for Headless Charge.
Okay.
Heedless charge.
Okay.
My bad.
That's what I thought you were going to swap for. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I gotta upgrade your race to a Minotaur or Forged. Um,
Was definitely not expecting this.
I know. I was.
Of course
Uh,
you were.
yeah. So going forward, any feats or anything that is classified as Minotaur or Warforged, you now can pick from both.
Okay.
Okay. Um, and let me go ahead and just add the living construct. And you understand the living construct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically,
As
I'm a robot.
yeah. Um, and just to let you know though, just because you don't need to eat or drink doesn't mean you can't. If you want to eat and drink, you're perfectly able to. It's just you don't need to. And many things still affect you the same. The dwarves explained to you over the week that as a living construct, you're not a construct. Like constructs are not living. Your new mechanical body acts very similar to an actual living body. You can
Okay, so I
bleed.
can I can still get drunk.
You can get drunk. You do notice that immediately. There is no. Your bathroom is not the same. You just kind of expel it, and you don't really digest it the same way. Um, your sense of feeling is a little bit different. You can feel pressure, but it's not the same.
Okay.
And you are certain lacking in certain,
And
let's say, limbs. Yeah,
yeah, I got it.
anatomy. There's certain anatomy you're no longer missing. So
No.
gonna go ahead and delete that for you,
Yeah, go ahead.
just so it's gone.
He was so well endowed.
I mean, hey, maybe they can build you an upgrade later. Okay.
Maybe. And
So
hey, I found out something about the party too. Aha.
yeah, and they continue over the week that because of their standing with their uncle and all the stuff that's happening, word is spreading that their uncle had passed, and basically soon the brothers will be embarking, grabbing up all the material and stuff like that, and they're going to be taking you to a Nur oasis.
Oh, they're gonna
Um,
take me to the Oasis.
yes, Lattès at the moment, a lot of shit has been going down. Um, you are now also a wanted man.
I am.
Yes, they explained to you that shortly after your passing, Imperial soldiers of your homeland had come because word had gotten to them that you had been seen in the area.
Huh.
So there is now a small constituent of soldiers at Letest and Celestia as part of a treaty between Celestia and the Empire of your homeland. Um, and so to avoid that, they are suggesting that you go to an oasis with them.
Hmm. Okay.
But they are going to finish practicing everything throughout with you on the week, getting you, making sure that you're good to go. And at the end of the week, um, they come to you in the little shop that you guys are in, and they come in, and as they come in, first Bill Maher comes in, and he's like, okay, where the fuck is the button? And he's like just going over the wall next to the door, and he finds a stone, he grabs it, pulls it out, and there's a large stone button behind there, and he hits it, and you watch as the wall by the door spreads wide and tall, going probably about 20 feet by 20 feet. It's like, okay, bring it in, as they bring a horse and cart into the room that you guys are in. It's way too fucking big to be in here.
Hmm.
And they just start in a mad dash grabbing everything. And they're like, okay, come on, get off your ass, help us.
Alright, yeah, I get up and start helping them.
Okay. You go through and you start loading up basically everything in this room onto the cart. And Eventually, Bomar goes past you, and the back wall where the table was that you were kind of on, he kind of climbs over the table, goes up against the wall, and starts feeling around all these stones. And he finds one, he pulls it off the wall, and there's another stone button, and he hits it. And the entire back wall of this room opens up. And as soon as it opens up, immediately you get hit with cold, slightly cold air because your temperature is a little. It's kind of weird for you to feel out temperatures now, but you know it's cold, and you immediately see the sun for the first time. I'm like, okay, climb on board.
I'm like blinking my eyes, but I climb on board.
Okay, you hop on the back of the cart, and Bomar goes over and closes the front door back, hits the button, and he starts gathering up the last little things. You're sitting in the back of the cart. Bilmar is already up front, and Bomar continues to grab the last few things. You can hear pounding on the door that's now closed. Open up! Open up! And you hear a whole bunch of shouting, and then you hear pounding like, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta get the fuck out of here. As the two brothers throw the last little bit of stuff on the wagon. Okay, alright, get us the fuck out of here. And he fucking whips the horse, and you guys begin to leave. You look out of the back of the cart, and you immediately see you're on the top of a mountain pass. You're outside. You go to breathe the fresh air, but you don't breathe. You're like, that's slightly disappointing. But you are outside. You see the sun. You look down, and to the south, you see Celestia, way, way off in the distance. And you hear the brothers shouting back and forth. Okay, according to our uncle's notes, this pass should take us all the way down to the base, and it should allow us to avoid all the guards, so by the time they know we're gone, we'll be almost halfway to an oasis. How you doing back there, Bullman?
I'm adjusting being outside again.
Oh, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, just worry about the rain because then it'll make you rust real bad.
What?
They're laughing back and forth. We're kidding.
Better be.
But the journey continues, and eventually you guys follow this path. It's a very thin, winding pass. And eventually it goes deeper and deeper, and it's cold. You look across, because from this height, you can see a good area around Celestia, and you do every once in a while see pokes of Cletus coming off to the far west. And you see snow all across the scape. And eventually you keep going down the winding path until eventually you guys make your way down the mountain, and you find yourself on a very familiar road, the road leading from Throggermere towards Lake Io. And they continue along, and they eventually cut east, right where the forest meets the mountains, and you guys basically hook around there. You guys continue east, down through, and eventually it gets warmer and warmer and warmer until it's hot, it fucking sucks, and you find yourself at the entrance to the desert. And the Dwarven brothers, you guys continue to go this whole way. And eventually, nightfall comes, morning, the trip continues more and more. Bilmar and Bomar swap out, driving the horse once or twice. Bomar does, being a warforged, he only requires 4 hours of sleep, so, they swap for those 4 hours, then he gives back, lets his brother rest. And through the whole time, you guys eventually make it to the desert. You guys do not stop at all. And it kind of makes you curious of why you don't stop. And then you look over at the horse. That's a fucking mechanical horse. Okay, well that makes sense. So you guys continue along. And you guys eventually hit the desert. And it is fucking hot. But you guys start going through the desert. And immediately as soon as you guys hit the desert, the brothers look back to you. Okay, this may take a while, They don't call these the ever-shifting fucking sands for nothing. So, start praying to whatever god you pray to. Cord strength be with us. Bahamut, every single one. As the brother like looks towards the sky, like just every one of you motherfuckers up there. Okay, we've been having a rough go of things. Just give us one fucking break. Okay, now I gotta roll to see how long it's gonna take for you guys to get through the desert.
Can
Oh,
you go to the
fuck.
bathroom real fast?
Yeah. It was convenient too because I just rolled a natural 20.
Alright, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, I rolled really fucking good. So, you guys enter the desert and you guys get bombarded with sandstorms. You see the horizon and then it disappears. There's deep valleys, high hills, and it seems like after the first day, it doesn't matter how much you guys move, it almost feels like you're not going anywhere. And there are a few times off in the far distance you see other caravans, travelers, um, and they're worried, they're arguing back and forth. You know, Bilmar is telling Bomar, like, well, I mean, you guys don't have to fucking eat, but I do, so, like, we need to fucking get over there quick. Like, we definitely did not have enough food for this shit. And, you know, Bomar is like, well, it's not my fucking fault. I guess you could have upgraded if you really wanted to. Well, you know we ain't got no more of those fucking stones, so what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, I mean, you know, the other body is fucking back in Latesse, and, you know, I'm way too far fucking away for that shit to catch my soul. And, I mean, it's fucking in that protected box we left it in, so, I mean, I doubt anyone's gonna fucking find it, and if they do, they ain't gonna get in the bitch, and they're just going back and forth, arguing like usual, and, you know, and your boring ride in the back of this cart, it's entertaining, to say the least. But after 2 days of travel, during your rest cycle, eventually you hear ding 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 on your shoulder.
I wake up.
Bomar is reaching back and tapping you on your shoulder.
Yes.
Hey lad, guess what?
Are we there? Said, are we there?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Okay. Just making sure you heard me.
Yeah. Well, why don't you take a look? And you see in front of you a gigantic walled city.
Oh, okay. There we go. It's not zoomed in the right spot.
You find yourself at the Anura Oasis. And you guys find yourself at this very large gate. You guys approach it, and there's just many different caravans and stuff like that. And you look out the back of the cart as you're waiting, and you see a boat, but it's 100 feet in the air. As you see this boat, basically, I guess, sailing through the sky, your jaw
What
drops
the
as you're just like,
fuck?
what the fuck, as it goes over the gate into the city. And you hear the dwarves pull the cart up to the gate, and they're talking back and forth. You see a guard walk to the back of the cart and look in. He has a large scimitar to his side, dressed in kind of loose clothing. Lots of like white pants, a black top, but purples all over, like around his cuffs, around his waist, on a sash, around his the top of his scaled armor. There's a little handkerchief like wrapped around his neck. He has a turban wrapped in purple. Um, and they kind of look in the cart. They say something in a language you don't know, and they come back around the backside again, towards the front. Alright, we ready to go? Okay. And they look back. Okay, we're heading in.
Give them the thumbs up.
As the gate opens, you find yourself in the secluded area of the Inner Oasis.
New map. Yay!
Immediately catching your attention off in the distance against the surrounding rock of this area is a large stone palace that shines bright and white. It is massive, hundreds of feet tall and hundreds of feet wide, surrounded by another gate. Basically, I will mark out where you guys are, what the path you guys are taking. You guys come up this way. Come through there, here, and here. Okay, you see that path you're taking?
Yeah.
As you come up and around, you immediately see all the traders, the caravans. You see animals you've never seen before. For the audience and other people, you see elephants. You see large lizard creatures that people are riding around, and the lizards are pulling these very large carts. You see all sorts of peoples, races, devils. You see demons. You see other creatures that you've never heard of. And you see all these wonderful, amazing sights. And you pass by, there's this area with these two stone large walls that have these large tapestries. And when I mean large, I mean large. Like hundreds and hundreds, like multiple football fields long tapestries strewn across the top, blocking the ever-lit sun of the area. And you see, as you guys go by, tons and tons of shops. It makes the number of shops that you saw in the test look like a joke.
Jeez.
People yelling fish, meats, swords, armor, everything. Come get your silks. Come get your leathers. Just tons of people yelling. You see...
Giant bazaar.
It is a giant bazaar. Different people, you see humanoids of different ethnicity. Some with... many people around this area have dark olive skin, dark tan skins. Many people with sun-leathered skin. And it's loud, it's vibrant, it's nothing like Letest. You see entertainers every once in a while. You see people spitting fire, doing dances. You see a snake charmer. Basically, if you've ever seen the movie Aladdin when they cut through the city,
Yep.
that's what you're seeing right now. And you are just staring out the back of the cart, just metal jaw dropped.
Right.
You actually have to like pick it up and adjust it and slide it back into place. But eventually you guys make your way past the bazaar to a large circular building with, and if you zoom in real quick, right to that circular building that the path kind of took you to.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay. Right there you see, yes, that one right there. You see a few people kind of eyeing the stuff as the cart pulls up in between the circle and the large building to the side of it. Like right around here. And the cart pulls up and you see this large circular tower with this kind of like a deck around it. And the brothers stop the cart. Alright, we're here. Oh man, how long has it been since we've seen this place? Oh man, it's been, God, 30, 40 years? Okay, hop out, big man.
I hop out.
Welcome to the amazing and wonderful Leadfoot Retreat. Ah, God, it's gonna be great to work here again. Yeah, our cousin decided to let us use this place. He's decided to leave Elois for a while. Getting a little too racy for him. Most of our family's leaving, and since, we can't work in Latest, our family's pretty much gone from Throggermere. We figure might as well go back to our roots and open up a shop here. What do you think? Want to give us a hand?
I can try.
Alright, we'll give you something to do. I'm sure, if your friends are still, here, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they make their way here eventually.
Hmm. You haven't heard anything from them?
Nah, nothing. I mean, it's kind of hard to, talk to them. We're kind of fugitives right now.
Yeah.
But eventually, you help them carry stuff back into the tower, and Bill Maher kind of lets the two metal men kind of carry the shit in as he goes across the way, and there's two large furnaces and smithing areas, and he immediately starts setting everything up. He gets the fires lit, and they start burning as the gigantic fires begin to ignite. And he keeps nodding as he's looking. He's like, we can get some great work done here. So, big man, welcome to your new home. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
All right.